now I currently have breast asymmetry and would also like an areola reduction. Can you help? Yeah, so this patient has, I think is thinking of having a lift on one side. So one breast is sitting lower than the other breast. And I think it was an implant in both breasts and a lift of one. And so if you have a breast asymmetry, it is usually / always pretty much the case that you'll have an asymmetry of nipple height. So you either ignore that or you lift the lower nipple. You wouldn't really want to lower the higher nipple. So when you've got an asymmetry, one breast bigger than the other, usually the bigger breast is heavier, sitting lower than the smaller breast. So there's an asymmetry of nipple height. So if you're going to try and balance that out, you would do a lift to raise that nipple up. When you do a lift, an areola reduction is an integral part of that. So if, as well as your asymmetry, your problem is the areola is too big, that lift will address that. But of course, if you're just having a lift of one breast and you're not doing a lift on the other breast, then you might have a difference in size of your areola. Excuse me, Georgia Bavista, yes, you can ask a question on here. So if you are doing a lift of one and not a lift of the other, if the larger breast hasn't got disproportionately bigger areola than the other one, if you want both of your areolas to be smaller, that will be an integral part of the lift, but you'd have to do an areola reduction of the other breast separately. Don't know if I made that overly complicated. And then if you're going to do implants, that's fine. That's kind of a separate thing. But you can, so an areola reduction is an integral part of a lift. So if your both breasts are sitting low and you're having them both lifted and your areolas are too big, that is just part of the deal. You get your areolas reduced as part of the lift. That is an integral part. But if you're just having a lift of one, you could separately have an areola reduction of the other breast. And then if you want to have implants as well or not, whatever, that's separate.